Welcome, fans, to the ShelbyTV Sports Spectacular. Tonight's matchup pits number 10 ranked Dakota Cougars against Eisenhower Eagles. I'm Dominic Santina alongside my partner, Pat Cavanaugh.
Dominic, we got a great football game tonight, and it's a big MAC Red contest with two incredible football programs. We'll talk a little bit more about that here after the anthem.
What a great rendition of the national anthem right there. And Pat, you want to dive into this matchup just a little bit more before we start here?
This is the 26th matchup between the Dakota Cougars and the Eisenhower Eagles. Thus far, it's been 14 wins for the Cougars, 11 wins for Eisenhower. The past 3 years, though, have been in favor of the Eagles, and certainly they're going to try and get their fourth in a row here at the Swinehart home field. It is a little wet outside here, Dominic. We got a slight drizzle. We're seeing a lot of umbrellas in the stands. Nice sized crowd, but the Dakota Cougars are led by their senior, Mark Toko, number 2. He is a versatile dual threat player. He can certainly stretch the field with his arm, and also when he gets outside the pocket can throw and make accurate passes on the run. They're coming in scoring just under 40 points a game, so it's going to be a tough test for Chris Smith and his defensive coaching staff along with his defense, but it's certainly, knowing them, they will be prepared to play their game. But great night of football. Dakota's coming in 6-1. The Eagles are coming in 4-3. This is a very important football game if they're going to look to get their 5th win and hopefully parlay that into a 6th win and an automatic bid into the playoffs.
Yeah, hopefully they can continue on this 3-game win streak they've been on right now, but Dakota as well coming in with a 2-game win streak over Romeo and Utica Ford. So Dakota going to receive the opening kickoff here. Eisenhower will be kicking from our left to our right. And we are underway. Kick drives Dakota back into the back of the end zone. He'll bring it out, looking for some room to run, and going to be tackled down at the 28-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Dakota offense.
That's DJ Stepney, number 25. We will be calling his name a lot. He's taken on the load of carrying the football in the backfield with number 3, Dustin Solomon, injured. Solomon has been their key running back the past 2 years for the Cougar offense, but unfortunately a few weeks ago went down with a knee injury, and the sophomore, number 25, DJ Stepney, is coming in and has been playing a lot of football and certainly has produced in a great way on both sides of the field.
Toko, the quarterback for Dakota, shotgun formation, Stepney to his left side. He's going to get the snap, he's going to drop back and pass. Now he's going to fake it and run up the middle. He's got some room to run and close to a 1st down. Looks about a 10-yard gain. It's going to move the chains for a 1st down, 10 yards on the first play.
Very heady player this Toko is. He's like a coach on the field. They're going to spread the field, this Dakota offense, as much as possible. They'll give a lot of different looks. We saw trips to the field there in gun. They'll go 5 wides where they'll empty the backfield. They'll go 2-by-2 set. A lot of different formations, a lot of firepower, and they are not afraid to throw the ball downfield deep.
Miculek's going to come split to the near side here on a wide receiver form. Handoff. It's going to be stopped in the backfield. There's a fumble on the play, and it looks like Eisenhower might have recovered. No, it's going to be Dakota football. Dropped in the backfield is Stepney for a loss of about 7 yards.
That's Javante Reed, the big fella, number 63. He's a senior. And just did a great job on that read option. Look, Toko appeared to be very uncertain as to what to do. And frankly, Reed had a play on both of the guys. That's just a great job by the right defensive end, Javante Reed, the senior.
You're going to split receivers out to the left and right of the formation here. Looks like we're going to go pass on 2nd and long. It's 2nd and 17 at the 32-yard line. Toko going to run with it, but nowhere to go. Eisenhower defense smuggles him in the backfield. 3rd down.
Justin Trevesky, the defensive tackle there on a great football play. That was a designed draw by Toko. Again, very versatile, mobile in the pocket, and he is not afraid to run the ball. And Coach Bauer, the Dakota head coach, is the offensive coordinator and calls all the plays, and he was not afraid to dial up Toko.
Pat, you have to wonder how confident they're going to be in Toko to throw the football with the weather conditions tonight. Not the ideal conditions. We got some rain coming down, kind of lightly, not heavy rain, but still it makes it a little tougher to throw the football in these conditions.
It does indeed, Dominic, not only from gripping the football, but also having a good base as a quarterback and being able to plant.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Toko going to keep it and get back to the line of scrimmage. Eisenhower defense there, and after a 1st down, 3 straight stops in the backfield for Eisenhower, and Dakota's going to have to punt the football.
As Javante Reed again from his right defensive end position, running the hoop, coming off the edge really well. It looked almost like it might have been a face mask. No call on the play. Great stop by the senior.
So great containment there by the Eisenhower defense after Toko got a 10-yard rush on the first play of the game, but since then, nowhere to go. 2 consecutive rushes where he got nowhere, and now Dakota going to have to punt from their own 33-yard line. Eisenhower, great pressure, gets into the kicker, and there's going to be a flag on the play. The ball's going to be downed in Dakota territory at the 46-yard line, but I believe this is going to be a roughing the punter penalty.
Looked like number 48, Cardamone, the linebacker, just came in on the right kicking leg of Toko.
Came in a little too hot there trying to get the block. And it looks like the defense will come back out onto the field for Eisenhower. So after a great defensive set, not what you want to happen, Dakota will now take over close to midfield, about the 48-yard line. 1st and 10 for Dakota.
Well, Dominic, when you play teams like Dakota, considered by many in the top 10 in the state, you really have to avoid turnovers. You have to avoid penalties and play near perfect football in order to win.
Well, Pat, I just saw this week Detroit Free Press. They broke into the rankings. Number 10 in Division I is Dakota. They're going to hand off to Stepney up the middle. He breaks a tackle now, 2. He's got some room to run, still on his feet, and down to the 30-yard line. Stepney, big carry for Dakota into Eisenhower territory, 1st and 10.
Some good blocking up front. Let's take a look at the replay. Stepney coming right through the A gap on the right-hand side. That's a great job of avoiding the tacklers and running through the interior line and linebackers. Great job by the center Tyson Wheely and right guard Brandon Ross for the Dakota offensive line.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Dakota at the Eisenhower 32-yard line. Man in motion, handoff. No, Toko's going to keep it, and the containment's there again. He's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain. 2nd down and 10. A host of Eisenhower defenders there in on the tackle.
Yeah, Kalen Duda, left defensive end, may not have made the tackle, but he was disruptive enough to slow up Toko on the keeper. We're going to see a lot of deception today by the Dakota Cougars. Their offense is similar to the Eisenhower Eagles. A lot of gun formation, giving the ball to the tailback, quarterback runs, a lot of reading. Again, a lot of deception, which also sets up the play-action pass.
Well, like in the NFL, right, Pat? The run-pass option, the most commonly referred offense now. And you'll see it right here, handoff to Stepney, and he's going to go nowhere again. Good containment there by the defense for Eisenhower. 3rd down and 10.
Dalton DeWicki there from his defensive tackle position does a great job of crossing the face of the offensive lineman to make a play. And, you know, something that's really important to think about here tonight, Dominic, is for the seniors, this may be their last game here at Swinehart Field. Last game of the season, they're on the road versus Utica Ford. And so they certainly don't want to end their last game here on their home field with a loss. And they're playing with all they got.
Well, you can definitely tell the way they've came out defensively, making sure to get the crowd into it. A lot of energy here from the defense early on, and they've let up 2 big plays, but so far that hasn't stopped them. Toko going to drop back. He's going to look over the middle and pass. Throw high and over the head of his receiver. It's going to bring up 4th down, and Dakota's going to have a decision here.
A lot of time that Toko had on that throw. That was what we like to call a coverage sack. Great job on the back end by the defensive backs and the linebackers. Looks like this is going to be 4-down territory for the Cougars. Coach Bauer is sending Toko back in. He is their punter, so they also can use him strategically to punt or go for it on 4th down with the pass.
From indication here early on, it looks like they're going to go for it. 4th and 10 from the 31-yard line of Eisenhower. They're going to drop back. Toko looking. Plenty of time in the pocket. Steps up, delivers, intercepted, and then dropped. Almost had it there for Eisenhower, and if you're Eisenhower, they're better to just let that one fall, because now you take over on your own 31 instead of being inside your own 15-yard line.
Yeah, that was Alexander Jarvis, number 80, from his safety position. By the initial looks of it, he looked like he was going to pick it off, and he also may have just dropped it intentionally. Take a look at the replay here. Jarvis has got a pretty good beat on it. Tough to tell from that angle whether he wanted it to get a pick or not. Most defensive backs can be greedy and will want that interception just to secure the turnover.
I think if you're Eisenhower, though, it's better that he did drop. You got a little bit more room to work with here now at your 31-yard line, working left to right. Rastigue going to keep it himself, looking for some room. On the outside, got a block or two. It's actually going to be number 20, Ian Cannell, on the carry for a 1st down.
Yeah, Cannell's usually in the wide receiver slot position. They came with a little bit of a wildcat look where it was a direct snap to Cannell. He is a versatile player that can shake things up on offense, defense, and special teams. Take a look here at the replay of Cannell going to his right, following his blockers.
Cannell going to keep it again, looking for some room to run. Dodges a tackle and is down to the 40-yard line of Dakota. So 2 big keeps here for Cannell. 16 yards on the first carry, and now down to the 41 of Dakota. Eisenhower's offense is on the move.
It's a really interesting wrinkle here, Dominic, that the Eisenhower Eagles are going with. Cannell and Gunn, Coach DeGiorgio, the offensive coordinator, signaling in the plays. They will adjust to the defense of the Cougars to determine what play they want. This is the chess game component of the football game.
Cannell in the shotgun, Oyster set behind him. This time, Cannell going to hand off to Oyster. He's going to wait for some blockers, but really nowhere to run. Gain of about 2 yards, 2nd down.
Ian Cannell is about 6'2", a little under 200 pounds. One of the most versatile players in the state, especially in Macomb County.
Cannell going to keep it again, and pressured in the backfield. He's going to be brought down for about a 3-yard loss, 3rd down. Thought about handing it off to Oyster there, and maybe he should have.
Yeah, this look is, as we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, something that the Dakota Cougars will do. There's certainly similarities between the two. A lot of shotgun, run-pass option looks.
You have to wonder if you're the Dakota defense right here to go all out. No passes so far out of the Eisenhower offense. And as I say that, here they go. They air it out. Looking for number 11, Marciano D'Aristotle, just off the hands and fingertips. Incomplete. 4th down and 10 for Eisenhower.
That was a really nice play. Set up well. D'Aristotle coming out on a little wheel route. Just out of the reach of him, but we had a chance to see Ian Cannell throw the ball there, and it's a pretty good ball in these wet conditions.
They definitely had the play there. I think it was going to be an easy 1st down, just out of the reach of D'Aristotle's hands there. Now Eisenhower going to have to punt. Snap skips back to the punter with a nice booming kick. Going to get a friendly roll. It's going to roll out of bounds at the 6-yard line. 1st and 10 for Dakota.
Great job by Caleb Oyster playing infield there to scoop up the punt, ensure that the ball doesn't get past him, and positions that punt right there on the 6-yard line. A very difficult field position for the Cougars.
Well, so far in this game, we've seen defensive bend but don't break. A couple big plays each way, running plays for both teams, but holding still. 0-0 game so far, 4:47 left to go here in the 1st quarter. Dakota going to take over once again, this time from their own 6-yard line.
Wide split here to the Eisenhower side by number 1, the receiver, Brandon Miculek.
Going to be a handoff up the middle this time, going to Stepney. He's going to gain about 5 yards before being brought down. 2nd down for Dakota.
Something I'm noticing here, Dominic, Ian Cannell is playing cornerback. He's usually back at his safety position. Eisenhower Eagles play a lot of cover 2, which is a too-high safety look, and Cannell is usually one of the safeties, but now he's out at corner, and he's been following Miculek wherever he goes.
We'll have to see if they target Miculek at all so far. Big name receiver for Dakota, but Stepney gets the carry there. Really no gain on that carry. Good defense. 3rd down at the 12, 3rd down and 4 at the 12-yard line as we hit the 4-minute mark here in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, Dominic, we've talked about Miculek. He's about 6'3", one of the leading receivers in Macomb County. Has a tremendous ability of going up and getting the football with his rangy arms, and Cannell is just about his size. So Coach Smith and his defensive staff have likely game planned well to put their best on their best.
3 receivers set to the near side here for Dakota, 1 out wide to the far side. Drop back formation, Toko going to pass, looking, now going to scramble, use his feet. Complete pass is waiting for the indication, going to be completed close to the 20-yard line. It's going to be good enough for a 1st down.
This is trips and out curl combo. Toko does a nice job of hitting that curl route, and the ball looks like it may have popped out. It was a great hit by Cannell, and it great camera angle by our ShelbyTV crew. Looks like the ball pops out underneath the belly of Miculek. Great hit by number 20, Cannell, on that curl route.
Well, if you're Toko right there, you need a 1st down. Who are you going to go to? Your star receiver in Miculek. Hard to see if he made the catch or not, but on the field it was ruled a catch. We'll go with it. 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line for Dakota. This time Toko going to keep it. He's going to be spun around. He's going to be sacked in the backfield back at the 15-yard line. A loss of 3 yards, 2nd down and 13.
Kalen Duda from his left defensive end position does a great job of wrapping around the edge. Both Reed and Duda are doing an excellent job of running the edge to get to Toko. And that's the beauty, Dominic, of having athletic defensive ends like the Eisenhower Eagles have in Reed and Duda. Their ability to play a quick, versatile quarterback like Toko is such an asset for this defensive unit.
2-yard loss there on for Toko. 2nd down and 12. 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Toko going to drop back. Deep drop on an 8-step drop. Then pass is completed. But nowhere to go there for number 25, I believe that is. That is Stepney on the catch.
Trevesky couldn't have read this any better. It was almost as if he knew what the play was called. And Toko did indeed drop back far, but he was doing so to set up the blockers and set up the pass look as he drops it off on a screen pass to Stepney. But Trevesky from his defensive tackle position, outstanding job of reading the screen and getting to the running back and securing the tackle for another loss.
3rd down and 12, no gain on that reception. Just a little bit over a minute left to go in the first quarter. 0-0 our score. Toko rolling to his right, gonna throw. Incomplete towards the right sideline there, the far sideline. 4th down and 12. Clock will stop with 57.3 seconds left to go. 4th and 12 at their own 16-yard line. This will bring out the punt team.
Toko's been doing a lot of throwing on the run, and that was a pretty nice throw towards the sideline where only his receiver was able to catch it, but it was certainly outside the reach of the wide on that deep comeback route. Great job again by the Eisenhower Eagle defense, in particular the defensive line, on providing the pressure and reading their keys to make some key plays and force another 4th down.
Punt here, going to drive Eisenhower back. Number 14 on the reception. That's Nodalski on the return. He takes it into Dakota territory down to the 43-yard line. Eisenhower will take over with 47.1 seconds left to go here in the first quarter.
And it looks like they're sticking with Ian Cannell, number 20, as their quarterback.
No, Pat, I heard a rumor that they started going to Cannell last week a little bit more than over Rastigue.
Yeah, he is versatile. Rastigue is a junior quarterback who has gotten better each and every week, but the opportunity to put the ball in the hands of Cannell changes the game a little bit.
Cannell going to keep it himself, run up the middle, break a tackle, jump cut, and he's going to be brought down at the 40-yard line. That'll be a gain of 3 yards, and we're now under 30 seconds here left to go in the first quarter.
Dakota Cougars are showing a 4-down look. 3 linebackers, 4 defensive backs, and they're playing a lot of man-to-man. In this particular set, we have man-free, where they're keeping their linebackers in the game, or excuse me, in the box, and a single high safety.
Cannell gets a call from the sideline. 5 seconds left to go. Looks like we're going to have a timeout now. Eisenhower, their first, with 5.3 seconds left to go here in the first quarter.
So looking at the defense of the Cougars, knowing that they're playing a lot of man-to-man, it does create some matchups. When we think about the pass play that we just had on the last series where D'Aristotle was just missed coming out of the backfield, that's something that's very difficult for linebackers to be able to contain and cover the speed of the Eisenhower offensive players, in particular guys like Caleb Oyster and D'Aristotle, which would be likely the 2 backs that will be in the backfield covered by the linebackers.
So we'll have one more play before the end of the quarter. 2nd down and 8 from the Dakota 41-yard line. 0-0 our score. Defense been the story so far tonight. No big plays, just solid containment defense, allowing a lot of punts so far from both sides. Cannell going to get the snap, hand off to Oyster. No, it's a keep by Cannell, and he's got room to run. He's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown, Eisenhower.
That's the athleticism we're talking about, Dominic. What a great job on the run action. He decides to keep it. He's one-on-one with a safety, does a great job of juking him out, cutting to his right, and his speed was demonstrated there as he splits between the two other defenders for pay dirt and 6 points.
Well, Pat, he didn't only just confuse the Dakota defense, he got me as well. I thought Oyster had that ball going up the middle, and Cannell's breakaway speed off to the right side there, broke 2 tackles, and then he was gone into the end zone. And Eisenhower gets on the board here. Oyster, the extra point is good. It'll be 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back for the start of the second quarter. You're watching Shelby TV.
Are you interested in taking care of a reptile or amphibian at home, but not sure how to take care of them? Why not adopt one at our Burgess Shadbush Nature Center? One-year adoptions are $25 for a small animal and $50 for a large animal. You'll get an adoption certificate, and the adoption fee will help cover vet care and expenses for your animal. You're encouraged to come in regularly to take care of your animal. For more information, you can call the Burgess Shadbush Nature Center at 586-323-2478 or contact them at naturecenter@shelbytwp.org. You can visit the Nature Center yourself at 4101 Riverbends Drive, off of the Ryan Road entrance of Riverbends Park.
Welcome back to Shelby TV Sports Spectacular. I am Dominic Santina alongside my partner Pat Kavanaugh. What an exciting end to the first quarter. Cannell, a 41-yard rushing touchdown as time expired. So Eisenhower going to kick off right to left here to Dakota. A short kickoff into the wind. Dakota going to receive it at the 10-yard line and some room to run to the outside. They're going to be brought down about the 39-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Dakota.
Well, when we look at what Cannell has been able to do thus far, he's shown some great flashes in the quarterback position, and he did indeed start back as the quarterback last game versus Anchor Bay, where they put up 42 points, winning 42-13. But I want to go back to that play and think about the sequence that led up to that. I got to give some credit to offensive coordinator Coach DeGiorgio. He called a timeout right before the end of the quarter, brought his team together, and frankly called a perfect play and positioned Cannell in a great way to get 6 points.
Toko going to pass, throw it. He was getting pressured, throws it into the dirt. He was looking for his receiver there, number 35, Jack Murray, but a little rush there by Toko as he felt the pressure coming.
Yeah, number 39, Mario Gata, in the face of Toko, and that's really what's going to be imperative for this Eisenhower defense, is continue to get pressure on Toko, continue to get hands in his face, and make him have to throw the difficult pass.
Toko going to keep it, look over the middle, pass complete, pass incomplete, looking for Miculek, high and over the head, and once again a little rush there, quick two-step drop and quick release from Toko.
These are the situations Coach Chris Smith and his defense are looking for. 3rd and 10, where the defensive ends can pin back their ears a little bit with a greater likelihood of a pass. But as we know, this Cougar defense or Cougar offense likes to throw the screen pass, so the defensive tackles will want to be prepared for that, as they've done thus far.
I haven't seen that so far tonight out of this offense yet. But Toko's going to drop back pass, look over the middle, and once again over the head, and this time intercepted by Eisenhower, number 14 in, no, excuse me, wrong team. Steven Nadowski on the interception. And Toko almost had one earlier. This time it is an interception.
Nadolski does a great job from a safety position, playing over top of the receiver, Patrick Marullo, and that's going to be critical for this secondary, is staying deeper than the deepest And that's exactly what Nadolski did. Does a great job being in perfect position and finishing with the interception. Coach DeGiorgio does like to go deep after a turnover. Let's see if he dials up a long pass.
Cannell going to keep it. Up the middle, gets a block, and there he goes. He's going to be breakaway speed, and it's another touchdown for Cannell. That one is going to be 68 yards. And how about the last two plays for the Eisenhower offense?
2 plays, 2 long runs by Cannell. Great job. And let's take a look at the block by Oyster. Dominic, I can hear the crack of the pads from up here, and that crack of the pads was from Oyster. Let's take a look at the block right here, right on the linebacker to create that seam for Cannell. Great job by Caleb Oyster after the fake, walling off that linebacker to free up his buddy and quarterback Cannell for a long touchdown run.
That was a touchdown block right there by Oyster. You got a false start on the extra point attempt on Eisenhower. We're going to re-attempt the extra point. But once Oyster got that block on the linebacker, Cannell virtually untouched to the end zone, 68 yards. And he's got 109 yards on his last 2 carries and 2 touchdowns.
This is what's difficult when you play the Eisenhower Eagles if you go man-to-man. They spread the field with the receivers, and when you get good blocks on the second level and you have speedy guys like Cannell, it's very hard to contain.
The extra point is good. It makes it 14-0. Just 31 seconds into the second quarter. And Pat, you said the Eisenhower defense likes to go big after a turnover. Well, they didn't air it out, but they got a massive run by Cannell.
Yeah, I'm going to be anxious to see what the Cougars decide to do from a coverage standpoint, because when you play man-free with one single high safety, when the runner gets past the second level, if the receivers block well, it's very difficult to contain. And that's one of the top attributes of this Eisenhower offense, of the many, is the job that Coach Crum does with his receivers and blocking on the perimeter. We see a lot of long runs over the past several years by the Eagles, and it's in large part because of the blocking that happens on the perimeter by the receivers. And in this case, the blocking that was done by Caleb Oyster, the running back.
So now if you're Toko, threw an interception last play, you were down 7, now all of a sudden in a matter of 30 seconds you're down 14, and you got to shake off that interception in a hurry. Booming kick for Eisenhower, drives him back to the 3-yard line. Big return! Dakota down the left sideline. Big hit. And going to be knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line of Eisenhower. A big return and just the spark this Dakota team needed.
DJ Stepney has a lot of speed. This is a sophomore we've talked about. Has good vision, cuts to his left, and there he breaks away from everybody. Fortunately, our kicker, number 99, had an angle. And Stepney turned to lower his shoulder and lower the boom. That was Mike Prutnick, number 99. Excuse me. It might have been Gene Husky.
Either way, it saved a touchdown there for Eisenhower, 14-0. And Toko got to boost the confidence now. He's going to hand off to Stepney, who just had the big return. He's going to run right up the middle for a gain of about 6 yards down to the 35-yard line as they marked it on the 41 where Stepney went out of bounds. So it's 2nd down and 4 at the 35 for Dakota.
Number 25, Stepney, has a lot of high school football left in him, with only being a 10th grader and playing a major role on this Dakota team.
Play going to be stopped there in the backfield. No gain. Third down for Dakota.
This will likely be 4-down territory, Dominic. And with third and fairly short, the Cougars might decide to put the ball in the air.
They're going to break the huddle, send 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Looks like McCavanagh is going to line up here to the short side, so we'll have to watch, see if Toko tries to go to him. Now it's going to be handoff to Stepney, and the Eisenhower defense is there. A great push by the defensive line, going to stop him, stuff him for no gain. 4th down and 2 at the 33-yard line.
Not good, though. We have a late flag that came in from the backside of the defense. Hard to tell what the call is going to be at this point, but what a great play by Anthony Cardamone, the linebacker, shooting through the A-gap.
Going to have offsetting penalties here on both Dakota and Eisenhower, so we'll replay 3rd down. It looks like the penalties are going to offset, and we're going to play 4th down and 2 from the 33-yard line.
The refs might have been thinking we got to keep this game under control and prevent any further extracurricular, and so we're going to penalize both teams, have them offset, but at least put a warning out to them to play the right way.
4th down and 2 at the 33-yard line of Eisenhower. Oh, and it looks like maybe a jump here on Eisenhower. Have to see. I did see some movement from that defensive line. We'll just have to see what the call is going to be. If they were drawn offside. No, it's going to be offsides on the defense. So an automatic 1st down for Dakota, and it'll be 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. So new set of downs here for Dakota. Toko going to hand off to Stepney. He's going to look for some room to run. He's got a couple blocks. And he's going to be brought down at the 14-yard line. A gain of 13 yards and another 1st down.
Head coach for Dakota, Coach Bauer, really likes this offensive line unit. And one of the things he loves the most about him is the size and agility in this group. They are big and they are fast. And with the amount of outside run plays, they will pull guards and tackles. And that is a perfect example right there of their ability to get out in front.
Stepney going to take it around the left side, cut back up the middle, and he is going to, waiting for the indication, going to be short of the goal line. It's going to be 1st and goal at about the 2-yard line. So Stepney starting to find the holes in this Eisenhower defense.
This is the same play, just going the other way. Good combo block there by the offensive line.
Mighty close to a touchdown there by Stepney. It's 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. Toko under center, he's going to keep it, dive. And did they stop him or did he get in? They're going to say they stuffed him at the line. 2nd down and 1 for 2nd and goal at the 1, I should say. So a great job and a great defensive push by Eisenhower defense to keep him out.
Yeah, good job by the D-line up front. Dakota's showing a full house backfield, double tight, 3 backs in the backfield.
All right, Pat, does he go with it again or does he hand it off to Stepney this time?
I think we're going to get a handoff to the offensive left. Nope.
He's going to keep it, and this time he gets in. Toko with a QB keeper makes it 14-6. At the moment, we'll await the extra point with 7:55 left to go here in the 1st half.
Yeah, Toko was able to get a 2nd effort, kind of roll his body to his right to get that extra half a yard to get in.
If at first you don't succeed, try again, and that's exactly what Toko did, and Dakota's going to get themselves on the board here, and the extra point is good. It's 14-7, so Dakota answers the Cannell long touchdown run with 7 points of their own, and it's back to a 7-point game.
As we look at the replay there, Toko got a little help from his friends, which will often happen when you have QB keep. The running backs will also push into the pile, and they're just not pushing the pile, they're pushing the quarterback into the end zone. That was a good response by the Dakota Cougars to put points on the board. And we spoke about it earlier. Penalties and turnovers are going to be critical. We've seen turnovers by the Cougars on the long pass resulting in a long touchdown run. And we saw a penalty on 4th and about 3, offsides by the defensive line of the Eisenhower Eagles, which led to a first down, which ultimately ended in a touchdown for the Cougars. So penalties, turnovers are often the key factor in who wins and who loses.
Right there, Pat. Eisenhower had that Dakota defense stopped on 4th down, and that offsides kept the drive alive, which ended with the Toko rushing touchdown. Dakota going to kick it deep. This one's going to go through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Eisenhower will take over 1st and 10, and we'll have to see 2 straight plays, 2 Cannell keeps. Wonder if they'll go right back to it.
We will definitely see that play again many times. When it will happen, we'll have to find out. And keeping an eye on the defensive secondary of the Cougars and how they line up. And they're sticking with a man-free, single high safety, man-to-man press on the edges. You can see the linebacker on the left-hand side is inside over the B gap.
Handoff to Oyster up the middle this time. He breaks a tackle, now cuts back. Going to drag a defender up to the 36-yard line. So Oyster not getting many carries so far, but a big one there on 1st down.
Eisenhower Eagle offense are playing a numbers game here. They are stretching the field out, knowing that the defensive backs, in particular the corners, are playing press, and they are getting bodies on the linebackers. And when they get past the 2nd level, that's how they score.
This time Cannell going to keep it around the corner, cut back middle, takes a big hit, and then going to be drugged up to the 50-yard line by the Dakota defense. So 14-yard rush there by Cannell, and Eisenhower just sticking with what's working. Oyster, Cannell pound the football, and it's got them points on the board so far.
Excellent job up front by the big boys. Trevetsky, Dewicki, Christoph Barron. Jai Javante Reed's out there. And Miculek as well.
Cannell looking to run the option, just going to end up keeping it and run ahead for about 3 yards. 2nd down, but into Dakota territory at the 47-yard line as we hit the 7-minute mark here left to go in the 1st half.
Good patience by Cannell and making the smart play by not pitching it. The Dakota Cougars did a nice job on the defensive end of stretching out the field and forcing Cannell to cut it up.
3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Cannell going to drop back, look to run a screen, now just going to get rid of it and over the head of Oyster, but there was a flag thrown in the backfield. It's going to be a hold on the Eisenhower offense. So 2nd and 8 will now turn into 2nd and 18. And Pat, usually when it's thrown from the back judge back there, most of the time it's a hold and early indication. You could tell from the Dakota defense, they were pretty pumped up about it. A hold on the offensive line there, trying to get the screen set up for Oyster, and it just never really developed.
Yep, it's a great play call, knowing that they're playing man-to-man. And Oyster has a lot of speed, so when you put a linebacker on Oyster, it is a mismatch.
Cannell going to drop back. He's going to look to pass this time. Now he's going to scramble with it to the near side. Got a little bit of room to run up the sideline. And he's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line. So a gain of 11 yards there on second down makes it a manageable third down on the scramble.
For a guy that's only been playing quarterback for a couple weeks, just does a great job of showing poise and awareness, stepping up in the pocket, getting what he can get, which was a nice size gain, and putting them in 3rd and 13 situation, which is much better than 3rd and 25. Got a pitch pass. Transcontinental back to Cannell.
Looking for Cannell there on the reception. And it was kind of a jump ball collision in the air between Cannell and Stepney, who is playing cornerback there. And the pass is going to fall incomplete, 4th and 14. And Oyster going to punt this one away for Eisenhower.
It's a nice throw by Oyster. It was right on the money. But Stepney played that one very, very well. And Cannell does a nice job of trying to break that one up as they both high point the football for an incompletion.
The punt goes out of bounds at the 34-yard line. So Dakota will take over. 1st and 10, 6:09 left to go in the half. And Pat, you said it, penalties are a killer. Eisenhower offense was on the move. That holding penalty knocked them back 10 yards, made it 2nd and 25 at the time, and that let the Dakota defense get back into it. And now 6 minutes left to go. They have a chance to tie this game up before halftime. Toko going to drop back pass, now scramble. He's got some pressure. He's going to take off and run with it. Got some room, got a block around the end. He's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 49-yard line. So a 17-yard scramble for Toko.
This is Mark Toko at his finest. He steps up, does a great job of avoiding the rush, and just shows an incredible amount of athleticism and speed to pick up the first down.
So a big play on first down for Dakota and gets them into Eisenhower territory as we close in on the end of the first half. Toko going to drop back, look to pass. He's going to air it out. It's going to be completed down to Miculek inside the 10-yard line, down to about the 7, and he was looking for him and finally got him that time.
That's a beautiful throw by Toko. Throws it up nice and high, knowing that Miculek is a big target who has great ball skills and could go up and get the football. D'Aristano was in pretty good position, but Miculek is able to finish for a big gain.
Well, Toko's been overthrowing everything so far tonight, and that one he got a little bit more air under it. This time Stepney's going to get the carry, and his progress is going to be stopped at about the 3-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd and goal at the 3.
Eagles are going to try and force hopefully only 3 points here versus a touchdown.
Toko going to hand off to Stepney to the left side. Great pursuit to the football by the Eagles defense. Stops him in the backfield, loss of 1 yard. 3rd down and goal from the 3-yard line.
This is an excellent job by Jai Javante Reed, setting the edge from his right defensive position. Stepney wanted to go around the edge, had nowhere to go because of Reed holding his ground and forcing the running back to cut it back inside where all the defenders were. Great pursuit, as you said, Dominic, forcing a 3rd down. This is a big down. Keep an eye for Miculek on the left-hand side. They like to go to him. Slant route.
You called it right there, Pat. Going right to Miculek, and on the defensive end, it looks like it's going to be trying to look for a number here. Number 4, James Collins on the defense there on Miculek, and it looks like he got to Miculek and just turned him just a bit early. His offhand there, grabbing the shoulder pad of Miculek, which channels the referee to throw the flag. Pass interference here, and once again, penalties, Pat.
Yeah, it was Cannell's left arm that was behind Miculek. He had his right arm out in front, which is great technique, but referees will often look for that back arm and where that hand is positioned and if there's any cloth. And Cannell appeared to have a good amount of cloth with his left hand, which led to the pass interference call.
First and goal at the 1-yard line. They're going to line up in the same formation. This time going to hand it off to Stepney, and he's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown, Dakota.
That was a big push by the left side of the offensive line for the Cougars. Connor Wolfgang, Zach Greaves, left guard, left tackle, that were able to create a new line of scrimmage on that run play.
So now pending the extra point, we could have a tie ball game. High snap, down, kick is up. No good. Pushed it wide right. So for the time being, Eisenhower catches a break. They're going to keep a 14-13 lead with 4:13 left to go here, and they're going to try to go down and answer the 13 unanswered points that Dakota's put up here in the second quarter.
That extra point miss is going to be huge for what the end of this game could look like. We felt a little momentum swing. 14 unanswered points by the Cougars to tie, not tie the game up, to bring this game within 1 point. And the Eagles are going to try and put some more points on the board before they head in for halftime. But this is everything we expected. Two high-powered offenses. I think we're about to say the same thing from big schools that are out here playing on a very pivotal game for each team. Dakota's trying to get their 7th win, which can put them in a real good position, have home field advantage in the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Eagles are trying to get that 5th win to head into their last game of the season and hopefully get that 6th win against Utica Ford. But we certainly aren't looking ahead to Ford, because tonight is that elusive 5th win that will hopefully position them to be in a really good chance to make the playoffs.
Kick's going to go through the back of the end zone. So Eisenhower going to take over at the 20-yard line. 4 minutes and 13 seconds left to go in the half. Eisenhower up 1 point, 14-13. But Pat, we don't have to worry about the time, because Eisenhower's 2 touchdowns have come in a matter of about 10 seconds, and Cannell's 2 keeps. And what a big half he has had rushing the football. We'll see if they can keep up the trend here, as the offense has kind of had their way with the Dakota defense. Just penalties been a killer.
Yeah, in my 2 years of covering Eisenhower football, there's one thing I've learned very quickly, that the Eagles can score in a very fast fashion in a variety of ways, and they've done that tonight.
Cannell going to keep it. Blockers out front in the form of Oyster. He's going to get to the 25-yard line before being brought down by the Dakota defense. So a gain of 5 there for Cannell. Brought down by number 59, Chaudhry, on the tackle for Dakota. Cannell going to keep it. Got some blockers, and just staying with what's working for the Eisenhower defense. using Cannell's speed around the corners, and he gets a first down carry there up to the 31-yard line.
That run look has been very effective for the Eagles. And again, with the man-to-man look, it's keeping 6 guys in the box for the Dakota Cougars, 4 down linemen and 2 linebackers when they go with that wide set. Now they're going to the bunch wing look for the Eagles.
Oyster going to get the carry this time. He's going to put a shoulder down, try to drive through the Dakota defense there, but a gain of 2 yards for Oyster to bring up 2nd down and 8.
Now when they go to that wing look, double wing look, the secondary who are covering those wing backs are able to help out more in the run game. When those receivers are flexed out, it's harder for those defensive backs to play in the run game, and that's what's provided a lot of success to the Eagles.
2 receivers set to the left near side here, but Cannell going to keep it up the middle, and there he goes once again across midfield into the 43-yard line. Cannell with another big carry.
Take a look at the replay. This burst right here as he cuts through that second level of defense is the difference.
Cannell going to keep it again up the middle, across the 40-yard line, down to the 38.
Number 20, up the middle once again.
Cannell has nice long strides, and that burst that he's able to take with him in between the tackles is producing some significant yardage gain.
Oyster going to keep it around the end this time. He's got some room. Breaks a tackle, dragging 2 defenders inside the 20, fighting for yardage. But we do have a flag on the play back at the 35-yard line.
Excellent patience here by Oyster on the right edge. Nice spin move, shows his power and his tenacity to get every single yard he possibly can. But with Laundry on the field, it looks as though this call will be on the Eagles.
Primary indication did seem like it was signaling that it was against the Eagles as their offensive line was starting to back up. And it's going to be a holding call on the Eagles. So it's going to move them back to the 45-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd down and 11. A minute 38 left to go here in the first quarter. So a little bit of urgency, but not too bad as they are across midfield. Cannell fumbles the football, now going to have to pick it up and run with it. And he's going to be stuffed at the line. Was trying to decide there if he wanted to keep it for himself or hand it off to Oyster. And a little bit of frustration there from Cannell, knowing he had some room to run and just dropped the handoff.
Yeah, ball just popped out in the exchange. And it'll be interesting, Dominic, to see if the Eagles dial up a deep pass. The Cougars have been playing man press, so right in the face of the receivers, and now they're actually backing off a little bit, showing a different look.
Cannell going to keep it, come near side. He's got some room to run. He's going to break a tackle and go down to the 35-yard line. It's going to be 4th and 1, and I believe Eisenhower is going to take a timeout. But do we have another flag on the play?
We do indeed, and that one came late.
It's going to be another hold on the Eisenhower offensive line. So it's going to bring up, they're going to replay 3rd down, but it's going to be 3rd down and 21 from the Eisenhower 45-yard line. So, Pat, now you almost have to feel like they got to go with a pass here.
Yeah, and the clock is running. The last play, the cornerbacks from the Cougars bailed off a little bit pre-snap to give a little more cushion to the receiver.
No urgency here at all from Eisenhower, letting the clock run. We're down to 20 seconds. Cannell going to take the snap, fake the pass. He's going to run. He's going to keep it. He's going to be brought down from behind by the Dakota defense just across midfield at the 47-yard line. And that's going to end the first half. Eisenhower hanging on to a slim lead here over the number 10 ranked Dakota Cougars. It's been an exciting one, Pat. Can't wait to see what's in store in the second half.
Everything we were hoping for, Dominic. We'll be right back with more football.
Are you interested in taking care of a reptile or amphibian at home, but not sure how to take care of them? Why not adopt one at our Burgess Shedbush Nature Center? One-year adoptions are $25 for a small animal and $50 for a large animal. You'll get an adoption certificate, and the adoption fee will help cover vet care and expenses for your animal. You're encouraged to come in regularly to take care of your animal. For more information, you can call the Burgess Shedbush Nature Center at 586-323-2478 or contact them at naturecenter@ShelbyTWP.org. You can visit the Nature Center yourself at 4101 Riverbends Drive, off of the Ryan Road entrance of Riverbends Park.
15 years and Esplendito Mexican Restaurants is still known for its great tasting quality food. Their secret? Combining the classic taste of Jimmy's Pizza and the well-loved menu from the original Pancho's restaurant. There's daily food and drink specials and weekday happy hours. Also, stop in for Taco Tuesday or on Sunday when kids eat free. Dine in or carry out. That's Esplendito Mexican Cuisine off Mound Road in Shelby Township. Call 586-739-1070.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dominic Santina alongside my partner, Pat Cavanaugh. If you're just now tuning in, you've missed a heck of a ball game. 14-13 the score. Eisenhower jumped out to a 14-0 lead before Dakota climbed back into this thing with 2 rushing touchdowns, but missed the extra point, which is why Eisenhower has a 1-point lead, and they're going to receive the second half kickoff. Dakota will kick off from left to right. Deep booming kick. And it's going to go back through the end zone for a touchback. So Eisenhower will start at their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah, we certainly felt the momentum shifting back and forth throughout the first half. It began with offensive firepower by the Eagles, and then the Cougars came on late in the second quarter to put up 2 quick scores, but both teams explosive firepower, outstanding quarterback play, and they can score in a hurry.
Cannell, Pat, I was looking as far as I can keep stats. 14 carries, 221 yards in the first half, and they're going to go right back to him to start the second half. Cannell along the left side, going to keep his feet moving, and he's going to carry for about 8 yards, second down, up to the 29-yard line.
Those are some highlight reel statistics right there, and he's closing in on 230 yards. And for a QB who's only played a couple of weeks now, his production and his poise has been incredible.
He's going to keep it and drop back. He's going to air one out deep over the middle. Incomplete. Looking for number 25, Cracacello, on the reception. He was defended heavily, two defenders in the area. Pass is incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, it looked like with the ball up in the air, there might have been a little bit of contact towards the end, but no call. That was a good down to try and go deep, though. 2nd and 1 And now we're leading into a 3rd and 1.
Going to be a keep up the middle. It's going to be good enough for a 1st down for Eisenhower. On the tackle was number 56, Barron, and number 59, oh sorry, wrong school, my bad. Number 56, Orlando, and number 59, Chaudry. Oyster going to take it this time around the corner. It's going to be chased out at the 40-yard line, 1st down, or 2nd down.
Excellent patience by Oyster on the right end. Waiting for the right opportunity to cut it up. Does a nice job with his left arm as a stiff arm. And nice pickup of 7 yards.
2nd down and 3 at the 39-yard line. Big plays on the last 2 1st downs. Make it manageable 2nd downs for Eisenhower. This time Cannell going to keep it near side. Here it comes around the corner looking for some room. Going to cut up across the 45-yard line. Good enough for a 1st down. He's going to be stopped at the 47-yard line. 1st and 10, Eisenhower.
I tell you, that run fake to Caleb Oyster was followed up by a pancake block by Oyster. And it wasn't just any player, it was a defensive lineman. Riley Orlando, 6', 270, was put on his back by number 32, Oyster. Great job by the running back who's doing all aspects of the game.
Oyster looking to the sideline to get the play call, changing it at the line of scrimmage. It's like a little bit of confusion. Oyster throwing his hands up there. Now Cannelli's got it. He's going to hand off to Oyster, who's going to be brought down after a gain of 2 to the 49-yard line. 2nd down.
So players often will create highlight reels of themselves. And as a running back, it's often catching the ball in the backfield, long touchdown runs. I have a really good feeling Caleb Oyster will add that last play on his highlight reel, that being him pancake blocking a defensive lineman. It's a testament to his explosiveness and power as a blocker.
Well, we've seen it, I believe, on both of Cannelli's long touchdown runs today. Oyster being the point man out front, lead blocker, and springing both those touchdown runs. Cannelli going to keep it up the middle, finds a hole across the 45 down to the 43-yard line. Going to be close to a 1st down, and the measurement is going to say it's good. Another 1st down for Eisenhower, and they're on the move.
Cannelli continues to show wonderful patience as a runner.
First and 10 at the Dakota 42-yard line. Cannelli going to keep it. Juke move, but there's a flag in the backfield. Once again, I'm guessing it's going to be a hold on the Eisenhower offensive line as Cannelli put his right foot in the ground and cut back towards the middle of the field. We got a whole chop block on the offense. So once again, kind of stalling out the drive here for Eisenhower.
Well, we talked about it at the first half, the importance of penalties and taking care of the football, preventing any turnovers. And the stalling of drives happened in the first half, and it's happened here again. But we know the firepower of the offense from the Eagles will likely respond.
1st and 26 from the Eisenhower 42. Completion down the right sideline, and going to be pushed out of bounds is number 80, Alexander Jarvis, on the reception. And that's Cannelli's first completion of the day, and a big one.
This is a great job by Jarvis working across the field. This is what's called a shallow cross. And when teams are in man-to-man, it's very difficult to defend that shallow cross because the defender gets caught up in the linebackers and all the mess. And that's why Jarvis was so wide open. Nice, easy pitch and catch.
A 28-yard reception for Jarvis. And now a run around the near side. and brought down. That was number 11, Aristotle on the carry. Another first down, and penalties killed Eisenhower's offense in the second quarter. This time, they got the momentum rolling and bounced back from that big penalty.
Coach DeGiorgio is doing a great job with the play calling, putting his players in excellent positions to make plays.
Cannell going to keep it, cut back up the middle. He's going to be brought down at about the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 5, second down and 5.
Offensive line unit of the Eagles continues to do a great job of creating a new line of scrimmage and creating seams for the running backs and the quarterback.
Cannell going to keep it, and this time he's going to be stopped in the backfield. He's going to be brought down at the 15-yard line, loss of 1. Not many times today has Cannell been stopped in the backfield. Number 56, Orlando, helping in there on the tackle for Dakota, along with Chodbride.
Orlando is one of those key defensive linemen for the Cougars. One of their top players, 6 foot 270.
Jarvis split to the near side here, but it's going to be a keep to Oyster. He's going to be brought down in the backfield. That's number 59, Bradbury, in the backfield once again for Dakota. And now it's 4th down after 2 losses of yardage on those last 2 runs for Eisenhower. Loss of 4 for Oyster there. Eisenhower going to attempt a field goal. Field goes up, off the post. It's no good. That was a 30-yard field goal off the left upright. No good. And a big break for Dakota. Keeps it a 1-point game with 6:05 left to go in the third quarter.
Braden Van Gilder did a nice job on the hold, putting it down. The ball was in a pretty good position in between the hashes, but it doesn't get any closer than that, folks, off the left bar.
And in a must-win game for Eisenhower, you do not want to leave any points up there on the scoreboard, so needed field goal there, especially after taking 5 minutes and 55 seconds off the clock. You'd like to see them to cash in there, but instead kept scoreless. And Dakota will take over with a handoff to Stepney up the middle. A gain of 6 yards up to the 25-yard line. Second down.
Number 20, the ball carrier this time. Aaron Rappin for the Cougars. Stripped up by number 52 for the Eagles.
Well, the defense for the Eagles are fresh at this point. It's going to be critical for them to force the Cougars into tough situations throughout this drive. We got a 4-wide look again.
Hey, Pat, I'm looking on the Eisenhower sideline as Taco going to keep it and rush for a first down up to the 41-yard line. 1st and 10 for Dakota. I'm watching as Rasticu is warming up kind of rapidly here on the sideline, so you'll have to wonder if Eisenhower are going to bring him into the ball game in the next possession.
I'll tell you, Dominic, the one thing that happens when you put Ian Cannell at quarterback is you lose him as a deep threat, which is one of the big things that we've seen throughout the season. Ian Cannell's ability to get down the field on deep pass plays, and he's been the key target for Rasticu, so we might see 20 line up at receiver.
Toko going to drop back, air it out deep downfield. Incomplete, and there's a flag on the play. It's going to be pass interference on the offense.
I was going to say, Dominic, if anybody is getting the flag on him, it's going to be Brandon Miculek, number 1, the wide receiver for Dakota. You'll notice he doesn't look back for the football, and so the referees will often look to see if either the receiver or the defensive back will put his eyes on the football, which Miculek there does not.
Aristotle had a chance at that interception, and Miculek kind of just ran right through him, never even really looked for the football. Hence why there was a pass interference penalty, and the crowd here on the Eisenhower sideline kind of upset at first, but then once that back judge signaled it was on the offense, it erupted into cheers as they realized they got a call to go their way. So it's now 1st and 25 from the Dakota 26-yard line. Stepney going to get the handoff, and he's going to be smothered in the backfield for a loss. It's going to be 2nd down and 28 as a loss on the play of 3 yards.
Excellent job of working across the face of the offensive lineman. This Eagle defensive front is fast, and when you run these stretch plays like the Cougars just did, it's very difficult to get yardage with the athleticism and speed of the Eagle defense.
Second down and very long for the Dakota offense. 2nd and 29 from their own 22-yard line. Toko going to roll out to his left, looking to throw back across the middle. Pass is complete.
That's an incredible throw by Toko, rolling to his left, throwing the ball across his body, but that was a bullet on the drag route across. Excellent job there by number 13, Patrick Mirola, the senior receiver, of scooping that ball and rolling with his hands underneath to secure the catch.
A catch of 18 yards makes it 3rd down and 11, so a long 3rd down, but now a lot more manageable than 2nd and 29. Toko going to drop back pass. Now he's going to roll out to the near side, signaling his receiver downfield, intended for number 5, Meta. And he's talking to the back judge. He thought he was interfered with a little bit there as number 80, Jarvis, was on the coverage. And kind of questionable there. Good no call there on 3rd down, but like you said there, Pat, didn't turn his head to find the football. And as you know, in high school and college, that's what officials really look for, to see if they find that football while it's in the air.
I would agree with you, Dominic. I think that was a very good no call, and we move on to the next down, and ball is likely going to go right back to the Eagles. Toko is the punter.
This one a high kick, but very short. Fair catch, and it's fumbled by number 14, Nadolski, but he jumps right back on top of it. Lucky break there for Eisenhower as they'll take over at the 35-yard line with 3:05 left to go here in the 3rd quarter.
One of the big pass plays we saw last series was that crossing route by Nadolski. Let's see if Coach DeGiorgio goes back to that. Again, a shallow cross is a difficult route to cover when you're in man-to-man, because as a defensive back, you can often get your path blocked by your fellow defenders.
Option play here. It's going to be a keep up the middle. There he goes. Cannell. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Eisenhower.
Outstanding patience by Cannell with the option look to his left. The defense of the Cougars were stretching him out, but he puts his left foot in the ground, plants it to slice through the defense for another touchdown. And that has put Ian Cannell well past the 300 yards rushing for tonight. And you can hear the band playing here at Swinehart Field. Great job by the Eagles.
A 65-yard touchdown by Ian Cannell. And man, is he having himself a day.
Let's take a look at the replay. Option look to the left. Puts left foot in the ground, plants through the defense. And when you have this man-to-man look with 5 defensive backs, the nickel look, and no deep safeties other than the one single high safety, when he gets past everybody, no one's going to catch him.
Ian Cannell on the day, 3 touchdowns. All 3 of his touchdowns. First one, 41 yards as time expired in the first quarter. Right back, next possession, 68 yards. That one, 65 yards. So all 3 touchdowns on the day, coming with runs longer than 50 yards. And when you need a big win, a crucial win at this point in the season, who do you lead to? Your leaders, usually your quarterback, and Cannell carrying this team hopefully to a victory as the way it's going.
Yeah, one of the best athletes in Macomb County, who has the ability every play to have the ball in his hands. So kudos to Coach Chris Smith and his staff with making the adjustment last week against Anchor Bay to put Cannell under center at quarterback.
Well, Dakota's going to receive the kickoff, going to get a block, cut back up to the middle to the 35-yard line and take over 1st and 10. And if you're Toko, you've seen Cannell 3 times break one on your defense. First 2 times you found yourself down 14-0. You got to respond once again. If you're Eisenhower, Cannell's doing everything he can to give you this victory. Got to lock down defensively. It's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this game plays out and see if Toko can lead Dakota back into this one.
And the Eisenhower Eagles are sticking to their base look. 4-3 with 4 defensive linemen down, 3 linebackers, 2 corners playing up in their short flat zone, and the deep safeties keeping everything in front of them.
Toko going to pass. This one complete to number 12, Lewalski. He's complete. He's down to the 40, up to the 40-yard line. 2nd down, gain of 7 yards. So we said Eisenhower kept the ball for 5 minutes and 55 seconds to start the half. Missed a field goal, but they responded in a big way. 10 seconds into having the ball for the 2nd drive. Cannell breaks one again. Now Toko got to respond. We haven't seen Miculek a lot, but this one's going to be handed off to Stepney, and he's going to be dropped in the backfield for a loss of a yard. 3rd down and 5.
Dalton DeWicki, outstanding penetration by the defensive tackle there. His ability to get his hands off the offensive lineman and get penetration and in the backfield is something we've seen all year. DeWicki, excellent with his hands, good power, good penetration. And he's a kid you often have to put 2 guys on to prevent from being in the backfield.
Third down and 4 from the 40-yard line in Dakota. 1:15 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Toko going to keep it himself. There's a flag on the play. Toko does get across the 45 up to the 48-yard line, which would be good for a 1st down. But we got to see what the flag will be on the play. It did come from the back judge, the head official.
Yeah, number 51 had his hands outside of the pads of Trubisky, the defensive tackle, and that was an easy call by the ref. Again, when the offensive linemen put their hands outside the pads of the defender, it'll be a hold every single time, and when a play is spread out like that, it's easy to see. Good call by the ref. Big penalty against the Cougars and puts them back into 3rd and long.
Well, Pat, you said it, and you know most football fans know almost every play there's holding somewhere. But if you keep it inside and contained, ref's not going to see it. It's when you get to those shoulder pads and the outside level that they see it, and when you get out there, it's pretty easy for the ref to throw the flag on that one. Under a minute left to go in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 15 from their own 29-yard line. Toko going to drop back at time. Now pressure, and he's going to be sacked. Back inside the 20-yard line.
Kalen Duda from his left defensive end position works hard around the end, beats offensive lineman number 76 for the Cougars, which is Noah Schmalzy. And Kalen Duda with a huge sack from his left defensive end position.
We had a beautiful view of that play coming around, and I could see the whole play developing. And Toko needed to get rid of that football and didn't feel the pressure coming from his backside. Luckily to hold on to the football, and Toko's going to punt this one away as time's going to expire. It's going to be muffed, and luckily Eisenhower is going to be able to recover it, and that's 2 times in a row now on punts. Eisenhower's got lucky. It's the end of the 3rd quarter, 21-13. Eisenhower will be back.
"15 years and Esplendito Mexican Restaurants is still known for its great tasting, quality food. Their secret? Combining the classic taste of Jimmy's Pizza and the well-loved menu from the original Pancho's restaurant. There's daily food and drink specials and weekday happy hours. Also, stop in for Taco Tuesday or on Sunday when kids eat free. Dine in or carry out. That's Esplendito Mexican Cuisine off Mound Road in Shelby Township. Call 586-739-1070.
Welcome back to Shelby TV Sports Special. Eisenhower and Dakota going at it. I'm Dominic Santino alongside my partner Pat Cavanaugh. Great game on tap, 21-13 Eisenhower, and a must-win game to have any playoff hopes. Have the lead with 12 minutes left to go as we start the 4th quarter. And there was a penalty on the play during that punt there, Pat. I didn't catch the penalty, but I know it was on Eisenhower, so it's going to back them up. They recovered the muff punt at the 38-yard line, and the ref's going to mark off the penalty right here.
Well, they're going to switch sides as well, which they haven't done yet with the quarter changing. Eisenhower will be going the other direction towards the scoreboard, toward the south end of the field.
Yeah, they'll be coming from your left, going to your right. We're defending the right side of the field. Now they'll take over, and I think that's what they're having the discussion with right now is where to spot the wall now that they got to change and with a penalty, so a little break in the action to try to sort all this out.
You know, I think what they're doing, Dominic, is determining, because it was a penalty, and it looks as though it was on Dakota. Maybe we're wrong. No. I was thinking they might want to punt it again because the Eagles were having conversations with the refs. But it looks like they got it figured out. And the Eagles are going to be going the correct direction at this point. They will not replay the punt.
So it looks like the penalty was on the Eagles because the ball is now going to be spotted at the 28-yard line. Like we said there, Pat, didn't catch the whole penalty, just kind of caught the end of it there, and it did look like the ref pointed in the Eagles' direction. So 1st and 10, Eagles going to be going from your left to your right, starting at their own 28-yard line. Lucky break, covering a muffed punt. Second one they've muffed in a row. Cannell going to keep it, put his foot in the ground, cut up the field, and there he goes again up to the 42-yard line for a first down.
Ross Lewalski with a touchdown saving tackle. Watch the vision here of Cannell. He cuts through the middle, and there again is Nadolski making a touchdown saving tackle. And again, the Dakota Cougars are staying in their man-to-man look.
Kind of interesting, Pat. Eisenhower's had their way with this run game. You thought maybe Dakota would come up something defensively to try to stop Cannell. As this time Oyster is going to get the carry around the corner up close to the 50-yard line. It's going to be marked down at the 47. It's a gain of 4, second down.
We've said Cannell's name a lot, but we got to continue to remember how great of a job the offensive line has done tonight up front, the big boys, not only on the defensive line, but getting to the second level, getting to the linebackers and walling them off to create seams for Cannell and company.
Cannell going to fake the handoff, keep it up the middle, and he's going to be stuffed right about the 49-yard line of Dakota, and a group of tacklers is going to push him out at the 49. His progress was stopped before he was pushed out, so the clock will continue to run. 3rd down and 1. You know, one thing we kind of mentioned a little bit, Pat, Oyster been a big feature in this offense. Tonight, not so much, but blocking, like you said, helping Cannell break those runs that have got Eisenhower the lead. And you saw Cannell there give Oyster a shove to get a block to spring him for a 1st down to the 41-yard line. A gain of 6 on the play and a 1st down.
The physicality of the Eagle offensive line has been noticed tonight, as well as their ability to get out and pull. The big boys are fast and they're strong, which is a tremendous combination for an offensive line. And because of their ability to get out and move, they can run those stretch plays.
Cannell going to hand it off to Oyster up the middle, found a seam. He's going to run out past the 35 down to the 34-yard line. 2nd down and 2. An 8-yard rush there for Oyster.
This drive is also eating up a lot of clock. We're closing down to 9 minutes. They're going to use up the clock in between plays.
They had a 5-minute and 55-second drive to start the 3rd quarter. Already over 3 minutes here in the 4th quarter. And Oyster going to get the carry again for a gain of about 6 yards down inside the 30-yard line, down to the 27-yard line. 1st and 10 for Eisenhower.
You got to love how hard Caleb Oyster runs. Every carry he has, his pad level is constantly moving forward, fighting for that extra yards, and that makes a difference when you have a hard runner like that, because from a defensive standpoint, you're going to expect to get pounded every time you go to tackle Oyster.
Cannell going to keep it, come to the near side. Not much room, but keeps the feet turning and is able to grind out a couple more yards. A gain of 5. 2nd down and 5.
Watch the replay here. Look at some of these offensive linemen getting down the field, continuing to block. Just an outstanding job. As we look at Mark Miculek, number 67, anytime you see the offensive linemen 8-9 yards down the field, continuing to work through their blockers, you as an offensive line coach have to love that. And Coach Chris Layson certainly does an outstanding job of coaching up his offensive linemen. And those are things they'll watch when they watch tape. Their ability of offensive line to get down the field and do the blocking.
Cannell sends Oyster in motion behind him. It's going to be an option. He's going to pitch to Oyster out around the corner. There's a flag on the play. Oyster going to be brought down at the 1-yard line. And you have to wonder if that's a hold out there on the edge for Eisenhower. Sideline judge throwing the flag there, but a beautiful option play there by Cannell and finding Oyster. And Oyster turning the corner, running downhill, and almost got into the end zone.
back, unfortunately. And 50-50 folks, we do have
Looks like the penalty is going to be on number 29,
Thank you,
Pettypool,
everybody, for all your support for the Untitled
holding there on the outside, letting Oyster get around that corner. So it's going to be 2nd and 13 now from the Dakota 30-yard line as we tick inside 8 minutes left to go here in the game.
That's just it, Dominic. The clock is continuing to wind down in favor of the Eagles. They certainly want to put more points on the board, but the clock is in their favor.
Option this time to the near side, and Cannell going to keep it. Really have nowhere to run. He's going to get thrown back after a while, but it's going to say 3rd down and 13. No gain there on the play for Cannell.
More than a couple times here tonight.
It's a pretty important down. This is likely 4-down territory with the ball on the 30-yard line.
Especially since they missed a field goal, a 30-yard field goal in the beginning of the 3rd quarter. This pass is complete to Jarvis at the 31-yard line. So they're actually going to lose a yard on the reception. It's going to be 4th and 14. And like you said, Pat, you have to feel like they got to go for it. They missed the field goal. It's too short a yardage to try to punt the football and pin them inside their own 10. Going to have to go for it here.
Yeah, that screen pass was sniffed out very well by the Dakota linebacker, Jeremiah Major, the big fella, 6 foot 240.
Pass, Cannell's pressured, he's going to scramble, now take off and run with it. He's got some room along the near side, close to the 1st down marker, and a late flag comes in from the back judge, the head official. We'll have to see, 1, where the ball is spotted, and 2, what this penalty is to determine how this play will come out. It is 4th down, so it is inches to where that ball has been officially spotted and that 1st down marker. First indication looks like he's short, but we will also have to check out the penalty to see what the call is there.
The flag comes in late. But the thing that Cannell can do is get outside the pocket and he can scramble. Great effort to reach out. Now the Cougars will have a decision to make.
Well, Pat, it looks like they might have declined the penalty and will take over 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line with 5:50 left to go. That's 6 minutes and 10 seconds that the Eagles burned off the clock there with no points on the board. And we go back to that touchdown by Stepney where the extra point was missed. A touchdown and extra point would tie this game. Now if you're Dakota, you have to march down the field, score, and go for 2 and convert it to even have a chance to tie this game. Toko going to come near side, looking for some room to run. Great pursuit from Eisenhower is going to stop him in the backfield. Loss of 2 yards, 2nd down.
We have a late flag, which is never good. Likely a personal foul. Unsportsmanlike. Tell you what, the Eagles are going to have to be careful to prevent any additional unsportsmanlike or personal foul calls, because that's giving yardage to the Cougars. And folks watching at home, you can likely hear the booing from the crowd here with the Eisenhower faithful. They're not crazy about that call.
Yeah, a well-packed crowd here tonight with the weather conditions not all that favorable. Fans bundled up, brought their rain stuff, and came out to support this Eisenhower team. Pretty good showing on the Dakota side as well. Not as full, but made the travel and distance to watch their 6-1 Dakota team try to win this game. Stepney's going to get the carry. He's got some room. He's going to break it. He's got one man to beat, cut back, and he's going to be drug out of bounds at the 30-yard line. A big gain there of 38 yards for Stepney, and they are into Eisenhower territory with 5 minutes left to go here in the game, and now they are definitely in business to try to tie it.
Good vision and speed by Stepney. And Aristotle does a good job of closing in on Stepney to save the touchdown.
So Dakota now on the move inside Eisenhower territory. Stepney going to get the carry, and he's going to be, for the moment, pressured in the backfield and then brought down short of the line to gain. He's actually going to lose 2 yards, 2nd and 2.
Terrific job by DeWicki, number 57, from his D-tackle position and continuing to fight across the line of scrimmage. The Cougars love to pull, and because the speed of the D-line is such, they're able to chase down the running backs. And if they're not able to wall or block down, they'll catch them every time from the D-line position.
I watch, Pat. Miculek's been pretty quiet tonight. Toko might try to take a shot at him here. And there it is on cue, looking for Miculek. Just a little ahead of his receiver was Toko, just outside the outstretched arm of Miculek.
Yeah, you called it, Dominic. The splits was wide by Miculek, which allows him more room on a slant pass, but good coverage. Closing in was Cannell and Aristotle. And the difference we're seeing here with the Eisenhower Eagle defense being a 4-3 cover 2 look, they're able to play over the top, and that long run that we just saw by Stepney was prevented from being a touchdown because of the safeties being back and Aristotle taking a great angle.
Big third down and 12 at the Eisenhower 32-yard line. Toko going to drop back, plenty of time. Now he's going to run. There's a flag on the play. Toko going to scramble, takes a big hit, and he rushes up close to the first down marker. We'll have to see what the flag is. It did come from the backfield once again. We're going to have to see what the indication is. It's going to be a hold on the offense, and Eisenhower sideline erupts as they get a call to go their way. And on a big third down, it's going to make it an even bigger third down. It'll be 3rd and 22 now from the Eisenhower 42.
What a huge penalty. Just a swing of yardage that just took place there. And now the defensive line for the Eagles can really pin back their ears with a 3rd and 23, even further than that. But the Eagles have to be prepared for the screen pass with Stepney leaking out.
If you're Dakota, you want to get something short, make up some of the yardage, and get the rest of it later on. Deep pass down the sideline, deflected and knocked incomplete, double covered. Was the receiver there for Dakota.
This is what's been great. Sorry, Dominic. This is what's been great about the defense of the Eagles. They're putting their top athlete, Ian Cannell, on the same side as the best athlete and best receiver for the Cougars, and that's Miculek. And Cannell just does a great job of high pointing the football and preventing the catch.
Toko's been struggling with his accuracy tonight, so once again throwing it up there to Miculek, kind of a jump ball situation, and great defense there by Cannell and the rest of the Eisenhower defense to find the football, locate the receiver, and just knock it down, knowing that Dakota was going to have to punt it there on 4th and long.
Good job by Nadolski catching that very difficult punt.
Now, if you're Dakota, some big concerns here with 3:39 left to go. You have not been able to contain Cannell at all tonight. You got to get him at least 3 times here, or Oyster, you got to stop that run game. You still got all 3 timeouts, but you need a big defensive stop. Really, essentially, you need a 3 and out right here.
You do indeed, Dominic, and that's what you're going to try and do if you're the Eagles. You want to get a first down so that the Dakota Cougars have to start burning their timeouts.
Cannell's going to keep it. He's going to cut. He's going to find some room to run, and he's going to get uprooted and brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Eisenhower fans there looking for a late hit as a Dakota defender dove in late. Oh, Cannell did lose that football, but I think he was down before that ball came out. So that's why the Dakota defender dove in late there. I don't know if the Eisenhower fans caught that at the end, trying to see if they could recover a fumble. Closing in on 3 minutes to go. Big first down handoff. No, Cannell keeps it. And good pressure there by Dakota, stuffing his momentum after a gain of about 3 yards, second down.
If you're the Eagles, you want to stay smart here. You do not want to have any extracurricular activity that will put you in a position where you'll be flagged. After the play, get back to the line of scrimmage, be ready for the next play. And they're doing that very well here with closing down to 2 minutes.
Cannell's been the workhorse, and he's going to take it one more time trying to close out this game. But as the man was coming in motion, a flag was thrown. Waiting to hear from the head official what the call is going to be on the field.
You got too many men in motion, it looked like, Dominic.
Illegal shift on the offense. It's going to replay second down, but it's going to make it 2nd and 12. With 2:25 and ticking here in this game, and you have to wonder, when will Dakota start using their timeouts? Cannell going to keep it, looking for some room to run. Going to get up to almost the 30-yard line. The 29 is where he's going to be marked down. It's going to be about 3rd and 5, and on cue, Dakota calls their first timeout. Well, 3rd and 5. Dakota gets a stop here. They can stop the clock, get a punt. Eisenhower got one simple job. 5 yards, and they can basically seal this game.
Yeah, they could indeed, Dominic, and we may see Ian Cannell doing what he's done all night with great success. And that's continuing to run the ball up the middle and let the big boys up front wall off the defensive line and linebackers.
From what I got here, Pat, in my statistics, not going to say they're most reliable, but 29 carries here tonight for Ian Cannell. Definitely been the workhorse for this Eisenhower offense. Like you said, over 300 yards on the ground. Just an incredible night, 3 touchdowns. He is responsible for all 21 points. And they're going to try to lean on him one more time to pick up a first down and really have a good chance to seal this game. There he is. He's going to keep it, find a cutback lane, and he's going to be stuffed. Gain of 2 yards across the 30 up to the 31. It's going to be 4th and 2, and Dakota going to take a timeout with 2:07 left remaining. Eisenhower just able to burn a little over 1 minute and 30 seconds off the clock, but they did pick up about 20 yards, which in turn pins Dakota deeper in their own zone.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Moltop, or special teams coordinator for the Eagles, you're reminding your kids to take care of their lanes and coverage. And if Stepney is the return man, You got to be very conscious of his speed because we've seen him as a kick returner, we've seen him as a running back, and we know how fast he can be. And it appears as though Dakota is playing for a 4th down and not a punt. And the Eagles may try to get the...
Interesting decision here by Eisenhower, and like you said there, Pat, just trying to get him to jump off sides, maybe pick up that 1st down. And now the Eagles call a timeout, probably get their punt team out there and punt this one away. You really could not put that risk out there of going for it on 4th down, pinned on your own 31-yard line.
Yep.
That's given too much to Dakota with 2:07 left to go.
Yeah, and with 3 timeouts, they were okay to burn one of them, knowing that they're going to try and get the defensive line of the Cougars to jump off sides.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see, depending on how this return goes for Dakota. Toko's had a rough night passing the ball, not been very accurate. Their rushing game with Stepney has had a couple breakthroughs, but nothing to the effect of Eisenhower. It's going to be interesting to see how they decide to go with it here, and head coach Greg Bauer on what he decides to run with this offense. Got to respot the football here. They were a yard off, so it's going to back Dakota up just 1 yard. Ball spotted at the 31. Oyster back at his own 15-yard line, getting ready to punt. Here comes the pressure from Dakota, trying to get it off, and a fair catch by Dakota number 7. That is Love making the fair catch at the 38-yard line. 1st and 10. And if we were in the NFL, we'd have a 2-minute warning, but high school football, and it's the 2-minute drill here for the Dakota offense.
Yeah, great kick by Caleb Oyster. Not only did he kick it deep, he kicked it high, which forced Matt Love, number 7, to fair catch it, and no opportunity for return.
Well, with Dakota bringing so much pressure, it allowed Eisenhower to get down the field there and kick coverage, and that it made Love make the fair catch. Trips to the left. Here comes Toko. He's going to keep it. Not much room to run. A gain of 2 yards up to the 40-yard line. He was looking to try to go down deep downfield with 3 receivers set here to the near side, but just another scramble and a rush of 2 yards.
This is just great coaching by the Eagle defense. When Toko rolls to one side or the other, that play side linebacker rushes through the alley, and that puts a significant amount of pressure on the senior quarterback. And here comes Cardamone again.
Toko delivers over the middle. It's complete to number 12. I believe that is Lowalski. Correction, it's going to be number 13, Marola, on the reception. Up to the Eisenhower 39-yard line. 1st and 10, 1:18 left to go. Toko going to roll near side. Looking, no time. Now going to roll back to his right. He's got some room to run. He's going to throw downfield.
He's crossed the line of scrimmage.
And that's what I was going to say, Pat. He was in scramble mode. Dakota is going forensic on the sideline. But Toko past the line of scrimmage when he threw that ball.
Let's take a look at the replay. It looks pretty obvious from up here in the box.
39-yard line.
He gets right past the stick, and there he is. He was at least 2 yards past the stick.
I don't know, Pat. They have on the scoreboard that the 39 was the line of scrimmage. Oh, they're saying it was their bad. It was the 44. The scoreboard had it wrong. 44 was the line of scrimmage, so you were right. He was 2 yards past the line, and sometimes when you're scrambling like that, you do lose that line of scrimmage. And unfortunately for Toko, a big play. It was 1st and goal at the 1-yard line, and a huge reception, and now they're back to their own 44.
And if you're the defensive secondary for the Eagles, your goal is to keep everything in front of you. Stay deeper than the deepest, and with the ball up in the air, you want to high point the football.
Yeah, there it is right there. 44 is the line of scrimmage.
As much as the Cougars are upset, this is pretty clear. Right there, great camera view, great replay by the guys in the truck for ShelbyTV. And that is a credible catch, by the way, by Matta to haul that one in with Jarvis in his face and the hands up in the air. However, it comes back.
Probably the best thrown ball and reception of the day for Dakota. And unfortunately, just 1 yard past the line of scrimmage. Brings it back and puts them on their own 47-yard line. 2nd and 13.
And football fans were adjusting the clock for the officials. We're 56 even.
So they're going to put 2.5 seconds back on the clock. Eisenhower crowd getting into it. Here with 50 seconds left to go, they know they need 2 stops for a crucial win. Dakota 6-1 on the ropes, ranked number 10 in the state. Deep pass downfield, nobody there. It's intercepted. Number 11, D'Aristotle on the pick. Inside his own 5-yard line, going for a Hail Mary play, and that most likely will seal the game for Eisenhower.
Excellent job by D'Aristotle in his safety position, staying deeper than the deepest, and goes up and gets the football and protects it with 2 hands to ensure he doesn't fumble. And at this point, the Eagles have a little bit of room with the ball on the 4-yard line.
I'd say Cannell probably keeps it one time. Give yourself a little bit of room and then just take a knee. Burn out the rest of this clock. And instead, looks like they might just go right into victory formation. Or they will take a timeout, their 2nd timeout, which will leave each team with 1 timeout remaining.
And we got a timeout called by the Eagles. And with that timeout, they'll have 1 more left on the board.
So if we look ahead, Eisenhower plays Utica Ford 3-4 coming into this week. A very winnable game. And if they win next week, that will put them into the playoffs. Looking ahead for Dakota, they take on Lance Cruz, who is 4-3, so they'll try to bounce back, barring a miraculous comeback right here, and try to finish the season at 7-2 on the season and head into the playoffs with some momentum. There's still 45 seconds left to go, and Eisenhower will get into victory formation. Cannell takes a knee.
Number 1.
That's some good sportsmanship by both teams there. In particular, Dakota by not rushing in. And Ratsicu is in under center to close out this game. Everything we expected tonight, Dominic. Just 2 outstanding football teams who are well coached and came together for a great match. But the Eisenhower Eagles were able to pull this one out to get their 5th win of the season.
And they needed a crucial win. They got it, and they set themselves up for another must-win to get into the playoffs. Guaranteed. There is also the possibility of their strength of schedule getting them in, but you always like to do it on your own and not leave it up to the committee. A 21-13 victory here tonight for Eisenhower. Cannell, massive game, and it was a barn burner here in Shelby Township. I'm Dominic Santina, my partner Pat Kavanaugh. Excuse me, I got you there. What a great game. Might have some playoff football in store. This has been ShelbyTV Sports Spectacular. Thanks for watching.